Hello and welcome to this week's Live Local and Loud with me, Kevin Gaughan. On this week's show I shall be chatting to young Joe from Electronic Goth Punksters April 33. And also we'll be playing top local tunes from local bands. Hello, I hope you're all well and are having a great week, as indeed I myself am. Let's kick today's little show off with Michael Vickers, a fairly recent one from him, Late Night Message.
Trying to find your keys halfway down the street while your back is buzzing. You don't feel a thing, isn't it a shame? Stumbling through the rain and the coat you brought got left along the way. I'll be the late night message you're not gonna read, not gonna read. That's what I'll be. I'll be the late night message you're not gonna read. There to be opened, yet to be seen. Banging on the door, 25 to 4, while I'm fast asleep dreaming. I don't hear a thing, isn't it a shame? Battery flat again, and you thought I'd be awake. Missed me again. I'll be the late night message you're not gonna read, not gonna read. That's what I'll be. I'll be the late night message you're not gonna read. There to be open, yet to be seen. 'Cause I got delayed that night. How do I make it right? I thought it had been received. Both somewhat used to this. I wave the 2 blue ticks. My eyes are fixed to my screen. I'll be the late night message you're not gonna read, not gonna read. That's what I'll be. I'll be the late night message you're not gonna read. There to be open, yet to be seen. You're not gonna read. There to be opened, yet to be seen.
That was the wonderful Michael Vickers and Late Night Message. Of course, he's really good to see live. He's also quite entertaining, actually, quite entertaining chap. He tells you what his songs are about and little stories and all that. He's actually playing this weekend, if you're interested. He's playing in sunny Leicester at the Sunny Sound House on Saturday the 26th of November 2022. Doors are at 7:30. He is playing with the Table Troubadours, Warren Ireland and Sozzle. Oh. As well as they're all supporting Andrea Kenny with her band Token Boy. So that'll be a fantastic gig. I'm going to that, and that'll be great. So that's this Saturday, 26th of November. Get yourselves down there if you think you fancy it. Andrea Kenny, great stuff. Gypsy folk punky type stuff. Beautiful. Anyway, enough of that. Let's have one of the guests that I had on a couple of weeks ago, Prolapse Doorstep Rhythmic Block. That was the wonderful Prolapse and Doorstep Rhythmic Block. That's easy for me to say. Of course, they're one of our iconic bands, one of Leicester's iconic bands from the 1980s, 1990s. I spoke to them on this very show a few weeks ago. If you want to check out those interviews, have a look at musicinleicester.co.uk, and there's a handy playlist on the right-hand side. Okay, so that was Prolapse. They put on a very good gig a couple of weeks ago at the Y Theatre. Great stuff. Great stage show, actually, as well. So let's have another band that I've seen many, many times before. Here's Revival, Give a Little Love. That was the wonderful Revival and Give a Little Love. Of course, you can see those coming up soon on Thursday, the 15th of December. They're playing at the Cask Bar in sunny Loughborough. And that's a free gig at 8 in the evening, Thursday, 15th of December at the Cask Bar. And that's Revival in Loughborough. Okie dokie, let's have a little bit of electro stuff now. This is Young Sean and Sweet Brother.
boy like you. And your presence here has me feeling all kinds of blue. I know what you're gonna say, but I don't wanna play those games. No, I'm sorry I don't work that way. No, I'm sorry I don't work that way. No, sweet brother of mine, what are you doing on the front line? These streets are dangerous for a boy that looks like you. Sweet brother of mine, what are you doing on the front line? I know you're hanging out, but the feeling is not mine. I know what you're gonna say, but I don't wanna play those games. No, I'm sorry I don't work that way. No, sweet brother of mine, what are you doing on the front line? These streets are dangerous for a boy that looks like you. Life is short and the night is young. Sweet brother of mine, what are you doing on the front line? Sweet brother of mine, what are you doing on the front line?
That was Sean and Sweet Brother. Yeah, bit of a sudden ending to that song there, but keeps DJs on their toes. Okay, so now it's time for this week's interview where I'm chatting to young Joe from Electronic Goth Punksters April 33. But first of all, we start off with one of their songs, The Shadow Man.
Shadow
That was Shadow Man by the incredible April 33. And this week's interview is with Joe from the band. Hello there, Joe. Thank you very much for joining me today on Live, Local and Loud. And I trust I'm finding you well.
I'm good, thanks, Kevin. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. That's my pleasure. Okay, like all good stories, let's start at the beginning. Approximately how long has April 33 been around? Who else is in the band, and what's with the name?
Oh my gosh, April 33 has been a kind of project of mine for about 15 years now. About sort of 2006, 2007, I decided I just wanted to play some music. So I started writing my own stuff, buying lots of recording equipment, playing instruments, recording it in my bedroom.
Wow.
And I first of all, it was just me playing in the bedroom, so it was a solo project. And then I thought, actually, I'd quite like to perform these songs live. And currently in the band, we have my good friends, Jim Huckle, who plays the bass and does backing vocals, and Mike Congreve, who plays the guitar. And I play the keyboards and sing and do everything else.
Wow, that sounds brilliant. So what made you start it, and why did you think you wanted to start the band then?
I had a very busy life. I'm a junior. Well, at the time I was a junior doctor. I'm now a GP. And my life kind of consisted mostly of work. And I guess I missed being creative. I always loved playing music. Always been an important part of my life. And so I thought, well, rather than just wait for something to happen, I'm just going to start up my own project and write what I feel like writing, play what I feel like playing. And I've been doing it ever since. I felt no reason to stop.
Okay, brilliant, excellent. What's with the name then, Joe?
The name is
not the name Joe. April 83.
Yeah, you'll have to ask my parents for that. The name of the band April 33 is actually a Christian reference. It refers to the month and year of the crucifixion of Jesus, because we're all Christians in the band. So, and because we play kind of synth pop industrial music, I wanted something to sound like it was an android's name. A name and then a number. So that's why I kind of came up with the name. That's a very long and convoluted story of how I came up with it. At least I think that's how it happened. It was a long time ago now.
Well, it's a good story. I like it, so I'd stick with that if I were you. So Chris. Oh, okay. So the music sounds great, but I don't know. It doesn't to me. We've just played the Shadow Man. It doesn't spring to, I don't know, it just doesn't spring to mind Christianship. I mean,
I think, the Shadow Man. Now that's a bit of an interesting one. I felt the Shadow Man is is writing about the dark side that lives in all of us, if you like. The part of us we don't like, the part of us that, when faced with a good or a bad choice, always picks the bad choice. I don't always write songs that are directly religious as such. I'm more write about my own life experience, and occasionally that references my faith. Occasionally it doesn't. But that one is kind of like the dark side in all of us, and the Shadow Man is the person who, like the devil on your shoulder.
Now that sounds, some of your songs, we'll play it soon, but the next song we're going to play, Judy Alvarez, sounds quite sort of Gary Newman-ish to me. Is that one of your influences, or who are your influences?
I do like a bit of Gary Newman, yes. That kind of early 80s, late 70s, first wave of electro artists, Gary Newman, Depeche Mode. Sort of later stuff. 9 Inch Nails is a big influence, and also I'm a converted metalhead. As a teenager, I listened to metal and rock pretty much exclusively, and then I discovered electronic music, and so my music's a mixture of synth, industrial, rock, and metal. and the end result is what you hear. So yeah, other influence, Black Sabbath is an influence on my guitar playing, Iron Maiden, yeah, lots of different things really.
All those classics, I love them, love them.
Yeah.
So how does the creative process happen then within the band? How do you make the music? Is it a joint effort?
I mean, I write the songs, and then we joke that I tell the other guys what to do and they do it.
Excellent.
But yeah, obviously, you know, when it comes to the studio, I write it all myself. Generally, music first, then lyrics, or rather, I think up the idea and the concepts behind the song, write the music to fit, and then fit some lyrics over it, and then obviously we get together as a band, and you know, even though I said, okay, this is how it sounds in the studio, the guys do kind of bring their own interpretations to it, and they play it the way they wanted to play it, and I don't like telling them, no, do it my way.
No.
Or I don't know, you'll have to ask them, actually. But I don't think.
Okay, yeah, brilliant stuff. So we've played The Shadow Man. Let's play right now. I'm intrigued by this. Judy Alvarez. Is it?
Judy Alvarez, yeah.
Alvarez. What's that about then?
Judy Alvarez. She's a character from a video game. The title came very last. It's an instrumental track, as you can hear. So the trouble with instrumental tracks is you write this great instrumental piece and you've no idea what to call it. And at the time, I was very into the video game Cyberpunk 2077, and so I thought I would name it after one of the characters because I felt musically it sort of represents her character arc. That sounds incredibly pretentious, but anyway, that's how I came up with that.
Brilliant, excellent. Okay, so here's Judy Alvarez by April 33. That was Judy Alvarez by the incredible April 33. And this week's interview is with Joe from the band. So, Joe, yeah, like I said, lovely. I love that song. Gary Newmanish. Lovely, lovely, lovely stuff. I remember when I saw him Reading Festival quite a few years ago. So have you been gigging a lot? I think gigging band or recording band?
Yeah, we do. Well, since the pandemic, obviously I had to put hold on it for the pandemic. But the thing I mostly do now is I organise the Leicester open electronic music open mic night. There's these electronic music open mic nights. They're all over the country and in some other countries, I believe, where people just turn up with whatever electronic doodads they've got and play a short set. And it's really good. We usually have about sort of 8 or 9 acts in one night. Because when we were sort of trying to find gigs as a band, we were either on with heavy metal bands or we found ourselves at kind of acoustic shows, and we are neither.
Right,
and
yeah.
Sick of being a square peg in a round hole. I thought, oh, right, this sounds like something where I can finally find a home musically. And it's been great, and people have been really enthusiastic. And yeah, we've got quite a lot of people who come along to these. And our next one is at Firebug Bar on the 20th December, which is a Tuesday.
Brilliant.
So, yeah, come along if you fancy some kind of pre-Christmas electronic stuff.
That sounds great. So is it upstairs at Firebug in the gig venue?
Upstairs at Firebug, yeah.
Wow. I bet that's
yeah.
good.
Yeah. It's oh yeah, we've had some great nights there. Yeah, and we get really varied kind of music. You can get sort of ambient noise, experimental stuff, industrial, synth pop, all kinds of things.
Cool.
Yeah, whatever it is, as long as it's electronic music.
That sounds brilliant.
There'll be someone playing it, and so yeah, and it's good. It's a good friendly night.
I mean, I've been to open mics before, but I haven't been to an electronic music open night. So that sounds great. I see there's a movement, isn't there? And you call that EMOM, don't you? Electronic Music Open Mic. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Electronic Music Open Mic. Yeah, there's this guy called Martin Christie who lives up in Sheffield, and he's kind of the main man for it. And he goes around the country and promotes all these things. So yeah, big up to Martin.
Wow. Does he actually play at any of them?
Yeah, he's been to a few of ours.
So that sounds great. So when was that, did you say? And it's at Firebug, isn't it?
That's at Firebug on the 20th of December.
And also, talking about gigs, you've got one coming up this very evening, haven't you? On Thursday, the 24th of November, 2022.
Yeah, we have indeed. I'm quite excited about this because it's our kind of first full-length gig since the pandemic.
Right.
So I'm really hoping my voice holds out. It's with Caroline McClavey and another artist who I'm very sorry, whose name I've forgotten. So yeah, that should be a good night. It's down at Duffy's, and it's £5 on the door, and it'll be grand to see as many as possible there.
So yeah, that sounds like another brilliant night. Of course, yes, Stay Free. We had Caroline from Stay Free on last week's Live Local and Loud as well. They said it's a regular thing, isn't it? Their sessions. Yeah. So have you done sort of many gigs around the country? Do you gig much?
Yeah, before the pandemic, we played lots of different places. Played in Nottingham. Played a few in Nottingham. Played Birmingham. Even done a few in London.
Right.
That was quite good. most of the money we got for it went on the car park, but you know, it's a good time.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. Oh, okay. Is there somewhere? Is there like an EMOM capital in England? Would you say?
Oh, I mean, you'd have to ask Martin, really. I think Leicester, we're relatively new to it. We've only been doing this for a couple of years. They've been having them in, I think, Nottingham and Sheffield and places a bit longer. I believe I think there's one in Sydney, Australia,
Wow.
and in Berlin as well. But I've no idea which is the capital. They do virtual ones as well.
Oh, okay. That sounds
On
brilliant.
Twitch.
Okay.
Yeah,
Have you got any ambitions to go over to Berlin or Australia or anything?
that would be lovely. If I could somehow make it economically feasible, then yes,
Yeah.
I'd love to go over to Berlin to play my music. It requires three different people working three different jobs, getting holiday at the same time.
Right. Okay. There's not an EMOM gig or festival or anything around, is there?
Um, Not as such, but watch this space. I'm sure something like that will be happening because it would be a great idea to get everyone who does these things all together in one particular place and just have a bit of a festival.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, nothing like that exists.
Or
But
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. You'd be good at something like Glastonbury, though, where there's a whole variation of stuff.
Yeah.
Have you thought
Yeah,
about that?
maybe. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
I mean, Glastonbury. I mean, they have one or two sort of death metal bands in the past. Plus, you've got obviously Oasis and ABBA and all the rest of that. But it's nice when you've seen the usual stuff. It's nice to come off and see something a little bit different. So I really like that. So maybe, yeah. Anyway, okay. So brilliant stuff. So yeah. So you've got your upcoming gig. You got your gig tonight, which is great at Duffy's Bar. That's the Stay Free Showcase. So I'll look forward to that. I'll see if I can come actually. So that'll be good. And you've got the 20th of December, haven't you? Like you say, your open mic night. So that sounds good. Any other events coming up?
If you join, we do the Leicester EMOMs regularly. So if we have a Facebook group for those of you who are still on Facebook, it's Leicester Electronic Music Open Mic Nights. Just request to join the group. That's where we do most of our posts about it, and we try and do one every 2 to 3 months, depending on venue availability. So keep your ear to the ground. That's where we do most of our stuff. Other than that, none are scheduled. But if you hear of anyone who wants a band like us playing, then give us a shout.
Excellent. Okay, and of course they are also in our gig guide in musicinleicester.co.uk. Both your gigs that you mentioned are in there, which is great. Okay, so and what's your social what's your other? Have you got other social media?
Yeah. If we're on Facebook, facebook.com/April33music. We're on Instagram and Twitter with the handle at April33music. We have one YouTube video up if you really want to watch it. April 33 and then 96.
Okay. You're not selling that too well if you really want to watch it.
I must admit it was a kind of a bedroom effort I did during the pandemic, but I kind of forgot to take down, but it's still there.
Right. I'm sure it's great.
Yeah. Most of our stuff you can hear on our website, though. It's april33.bandcamp.com, and you can download pretty much everything for free.
Excellent. Great. So thank you very much for that. And before we sign off, we'll play you out with your last song, The Dopamine Pit. Can you briefly sort of tell us what was the inspiration for that? Because it's got some spooky vocal effects, isn't it?
Yeah. I did enjoy doing those. Yeah, this dopamine is the kind of happy chemical in the brain, and the dopamine pit is a kind of a sort of crash and burn cycle. As you know, the chorus is the rush you get when you immediately do something. I mean, that gives you that temporary rush, and then the dopamine pit is when you hit the hit the trough after that. So it's kind of almost like an addiction cycle type of song. You get it's the hit and the trough, the hit and the trough, the hit and the trough.
Yeah.
And the verses and the chorus kind of reflect that. Anyway, you can hear for yourself and make up your mind.
Okay, brilliant stuff. So thank you very much for our little chat tonight. So here's The Dopamine Pit by April 33. That was me chatting to the wonderful Joe from Electronic Goth Punksters, April 33. So that was an interesting chat, finding out about their EMOM world and the little community they've got going there, as well as all the open mic nights and all the rest of that. So yeah, great stuff. Okay, so let's have a little bit of Bronze Age now and Shooting Bridge.
music's all that you have been told. Some pieces are missing from the streets, all that you have been told. Some pieces are missing from the streets, all that you have been told. Some pieces are missing from your jigsaw. Some pieces are missing from your jigsaw. Some pieces are missing from your jigsaw. Some pieces are missing from your jigsaw.
That was the wonderful Bronze Age and Shooting Bridge. Of course, they can be seen shortly on Saturday the 3rd of December at the Y Theatre in sunny Leicester. Great little venue that. And they'll be playing as part of Forgotten Futures, which is like a one-day mini festival type thing, with Nordic Giants headlining, Orchards, Gallops, and several other bands. There's about 7 or 8 more bands there. So yeah, that sounds great. Saturday 3rd of December 2022 at the Y Theatre. Obviously details of all these can be found in our gig guide in Music in Leicester. That pretty much wraps up another live, local and loud with me, Kevin Gaughan. I hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget, as I've said earlier, you can listen to previous shows, previous interviews in musicinleicester.co.uk, and you'll also find our very handy gig guide in there, which has got gigs coming up in sunny Leicestershire. So do have a great week, and I shall see you next Thursday here at Hermitage FM at 5 o'clock.